Good morning. How are you? Happy Friday. It's good to see you. Come on in. Kirsten Liebelt. We are going to go ahead and get started. For whatever reason, my Instagram was glitching on me. So hold on just a second. So the title today is, are your condiments making you fat? ? The shocking truth about high fructose corn syrup and seed oils. That is what we're going to talk about today. So I hope you're ready. And I want to bring you a testimony very quickly first before we dive in so that you can feel like you've got a little bit of hope and encouragement for Friday. Everybody needs hope and encouragement on a Friday, don't you? I know you do. I do too. Good morning. It's good to see you, Instagram. It's Kirsten Liebelt. Jump on in. TikTok, come on in, you guys. Come in from the balcony. We're going to talk about insulin resistance. We do this every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And let's just get announcements out of the way right away. We're going to talk about high fructose corn syrup and seed oils here in just a second, only because they're literally making you fat. And I have been in my DMs all morning long talking to you about belly fat. Like, you have no idea how many of you respond to me with belly fat is your number one frustration. That's why we're going to talk about this today, because y'all, these are simple connections that you're not hearing probably anywhere else. No, that's not true, because I get my information from other people, just not as readily available, because you're being given different answers that are messing you up. I'll tell you about it in just a second. Okay. The challenge. Every month we do a 5-day insulin resistant reset so that you can lose weight challenge. It's free. It's in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Jump into the group. It starts Monday, February 3rd. Today's the last day of January. We're going into February. The calendar is changing right now. Can you feel it? Spring is coming. Makes me so happy. Good morning. Happy Friday, Terry. Good to see you. So it makes me so happy, right? Well, but also too, we kind of start thinking about spring and summer, etc. So get into the group. Like, let January go, for Pete's sake. If you messed up January, I don't care. Who cares? Nobody's going to ask you how you did in January. So stop being hard on yourself. We're going to go into February. We're going to have a new challenge starting February 3rd, Monday. And at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will go live every day, Monday through Friday. We're going to talk about insulin resistance and food ingredient trade-offs and a pantry and a fridge reveal and a recipe and targeted supplementation. We're going to do all of the things. And then you get to do it again in March. So the one that we're doing next week starts, it's our 21st one. How many have you done, Terry? If you're available, if you're not, no big deal. Just let me know. Because I know that there are many of you, you have done many different challenges, because guess what? You're not requiring yourself to fix everything right now. You're not requiring your body to get fixed overnight. I mean, seriously, this is like, it's a success hack that you do not require yourself to like lose all your weight by March. Like, this is ridiculous. We have to change the way that we're viewing things. And in my world, welcome to my world. Come on in. If you want to change the lens in which you are losing weight through. Okay. So I said that we're going to jump right into talking about seed oils and high fructose corn syrup and why they're making you fat. I want you to have an understanding so that you will switch them, right? But I also want to give you a quick testimony. And then at the end, I will tell you about what she had been using, just because I want to jump into content and I don't want you guys to feel like you're just waiting forever for content. She thinks it's her 8th challenge. So her 8th 5-day reset, and Terry lost 40 pounds in 8 months last year. She's 62. I just want you to know, I teach grain-free, I teach sugar-free, I teach legume-free, and yet I'm still a foodie, and you can be too. So, all right. The testimony that I'm going to bring to you today, because literally my DMs this morning, belly fat, like OMG, you guys. And so I find myself telling you, listen, what women do not understand is that when your insulin is high, and girlfriend, it is high for years before it shows up in your sugars. Sometimes decades if you're me. If your name is Kirsten Liebelt, it was decades. before it ever shows up in your blood. And that insulin, that high insulin, it's creating your belly fat. And then it's stopping you from losing your belly fat. Like it's blocking. If you have high insulin, you can't burn fat. So that is your number one tip for today. Happy weekend. Get your insulin down, right? So just saying that I talk about an orange pixie stick a lot. Here's your encouragement. And then I'll talk about that later here. She lost in 90 days, 3.5 inches from right under her bra, 2.5 inches from her waist, and 1 inch off of her hips in 90 days, because it's a clinical dose of an extract that targets that kind of fat. Okay. So I just want you to know there is hope. And you can always if you have to run and you don't have time even for the replay, just reach out to me. Okay. Just say, hey, orange pixie stick, will you tell me what that is? I am available everywhere. Get in my messenger, get in my inbox on Instagram. You can message me on TikTok. I can't send you anything clickable, but we still work around that all the time. So message me. Like my info is everywhere for that, because my business is open, right? And I want to be able to help you figure these things out. So that is her testimony. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And yes, she's type 2. And yes, she is also changing the way that she eats. And yes, all of those things. Like, don't be ridiculous. Don't think that you're going to eat donuts all day long and then be able to supplement your way out of it. It doesn't work that way. But I will give you a blueprint of transformation. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to talk to you about this is because, number one, seed oils and high fructose corn syrup, I did a reel on this yesterday. They're freaking everywhere. They are in your Chick-fil-A sauce. It is almost, not completely, but almost impossible for you to go to a restaurant and not have your food cooked in seed oils. It's almost impossible. And almost every dressing you're ever going to eat, it's going to be made with soybean oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, etc. Right? Like this is normal. Happy day, Jan. Good to see you. And Megda, good morning, Megda. Good to see you. Good to see you. So when you are like thinking about like your Chick-fil-A sauce, if your first ingredient is soybean oil, I'm really sorry. And one of the reasons why French fries are actually so horrible for you, it's not because it's a potato. God made the potato, if you're going to eat the potato, whatever, it's that when you're taking seed oils, which that's what they're cooked in, they used to be cooked in lard. But the seed oils at high temperatures are making them like downright carcinogenic. I mean, it's really bad because it's changing the chemical structure. Lard was meant to be able to use animal fat. You're good. But it's all these seed oils that are, I did that, you guys, and I got fireworks on Instagram. It's like a party on Instagram. Go over there. We're having a party over there. And if I do this, I get hearts. And then it will match my blouse today. Okay, whatever. So seed oils and high fructose corn syrup, they are so detrimental to your insulin resistance. And just let me tell you why, okay? So some people are like, what is a seed oil? Soybean, corn, canola, and sunflower. There's probably more, but they're high in omega-6 fatty acids. That just means that they have it's high inflammation in your body. And insulin resistance and inflammation, this is the conversation, right? Like this is all connected. I am actually shocked. I mean, it's only because I've been doing this for a minute. And when I say a minute, you guys, I don't mean like 30 years. So get your hopes up. I'm a hope giver. I probably started switching out my foods. Let's see, if I'm 60, probably 9 years ago, I started. But the beginning of that 9 years, it took me 3 to 4 years to completely switch over. I wasn't doing any video. I wasn't like nothing. It was just, this didn't exist. So I was just doing it on my own, in my head, just me and Jesus, switching out my foods. I didn't want anybody to know what I was doing. Just, boohoo on the negative Nellies, right? Get rid of all the negative talk and whatever. And during that time, now, so let's say it was a full 4 years. So let's say from 55, so let's say for the last 5 years, it's probably been, it doesn't matter. I really am shocked now. This is how much you can change in 5 years. When I go to Walmart or I go to Costco and I see vegetable oil, canola oil, Crisco. So, yeah, at Costco, it's in big vats, right? Because the restaurants are buying it. I am still shocked when I see a person grabbing for it. I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't do it. Of course, I don't do that. But that's how I feel inside now because I am flipped 180. I'm so flipped. I'm like, seed oils, no, don't do it. Because the alternative, it's so easy. It's so easy to grab for another oil. But we're really like, we don't know, right? And they call it vegetable oil. That's a joke. Do you really think that that vegetable oil is broccoli and cauliflower? Is this what you're thinking? Why do they call it vegetable oil when there's not a vegetable in there? Interesting question. Kristen, good morning. Happy Friday. Kristen is here to make my Friday happy. That's what you're here for, Kristen. I know it is. You're amazing. There are no vegetables in vegetable oil. Can we stop the marketing insanity that's actually really harming our health? But we're just going to talk surface level today. It's just making you fat and you're frustrated because you're like, listen, I'm fat enough. Or I finally lost some fat. I don't want to gain it all back. You know, something like that. That's common, right? You can relate. I know. I'm just telling you, I never in a million years, you guys, I waited until my 50s to change out any of this stuff. So if you didn't get it right in your 20s, if you didn't get it right in your 30s, if you didn't get anything moving in your 40s, like, come on, we still have time. Like, it's not too late. You're not late to the party. You're not late. Phyllis, catch me on the replay, Phyllis from Arkansas. Good to see you. I have to stop doing that because I'm doing too many fireworks. Okay. So seed oils such as soybean, corn, canola, and sunflower oils are high in omega-6 fatty acids, which can contribute to chronic inflammation and metabolic dysfunction, which consumed in excess. So you're getting your ranch dressing on your salad, and then you're going and you're having, like, even the meat that you might be purchasing off of a buffet could have been marinated in vegetable oil. Like, it's hard to get away from seed oils in restaurants. Now, do I make sure that I do that? No, but I do make sure that like when I travel, I try to be able to bring as much food with me as I can. I mean, I don't go crazy, but if I had a choice to have a kitchen in an Airbnb or to stay in a hotel, I'm going to go for the kitchen because I can control a lot, right? So that's very helpful. But omega-6 fatty acids, chronic inflammation. So if you're super inflamed, pay attention to your seed oils. Oxidative stress, they are highly unstable. This is why when French fries are dipped into vegetable oil and then they think about how high that heat is. I mean, you can see the percolating of the oils in the basket and the oil. It's like, making those fries. Well, it's creating high oxidative stress because they are actually not very stable. What is stable? Beef tallow, bacon grease. I mean, I'm just telling you. Avocado oil has a high heat point. Olive oil, not so much, but avocado oil does. So you can do other things. You just have to go back to the old ways. And just as a side note, I don't know. I mean, if you look at a lard container on a shelf in Walmart or something, will you look at the ingredients? I don't think that's where we should be getting our lard. I think we should be finding it from a butcher. I mean, I'm just telling you, like, it's really shocking what they've done. They just ruin everything. This is why we can't have nice things, people, because they have to like increase their profits. And so they keep on taking down the like quality of everything that we're doing. Lynn, you're thankful it is slow at work as you're able to hop on. Woohoo! Welcome in, Lynn. It's Friday. Now, don't tell anybody. Shh, Lynn's at work. Nobody say a word. Shh. Okay. So seed oils are super unstable. They form harmful compounds like lipid peroxides and aldehydes. Okay. These toxic byproducts damage your cells and further exacerbate inflammation and insulin resistance. So the French fries, it's not about the potato, you guys. I'm sorry to tell you. You just have to find other alternatives. Now, I'm not eating potatoes anyway, right? Because I don't do starchy vegetables because insulin resistance, and that's another, conversation for another day, maybe. We'll see here. Oh, she's asking about nut oils. Is that considered a seed oil? Oh, that's such a good question. Those are also very unstable. Hold on. Oh, that's a good question though. But they are very unstable and they go rancid very quickly. Oh, it just happened. Okay, so we're going to move on then from seed oils, and I'm going to talk about high fructose corn syrup. I'm looking it up for you. High fructose corn syrup, what's happening with that is you can only metabolize your high fructose corn syrup has to go through your liver. Okay, glucose doesn't have to do that, but corn syrup does. Okay, so nut oils. Most nut oils are high in MUFAs, and in some cases, which are monounsaturated fats, and in some cases, omega-3 fatty acids, which are beneficial for heart health. So the negatives would be using nut oils depending upon their processing, storage, and usage. And there are things to watch out for. So high omega-6 content, there can be an imbalance of the omega-6, omega-3 ratio. So oils like walnut oil have a significant amount of omega-6 fatty acids. I kind of had a feeling that they weren't super healthy, but I'm just saying. So while omega-6 is essential, excessive intake can promote inflammation, which can worsen insulin resistance. Pair nut oils with omega-3 rich foods to maintain a healthier balance. And this is the one that I was thinking, susceptibility to oxidation. So damaged by heat and light, nut oils are delicate and they are prone to oxidation when exposed to heat or light. Oxidized oils produce harmful free radicals, which can increase inflammation and cellular damage. Use cold pressed nut oils stored in dark, airtight containers and avoid high heat cooking. Okay, so you said a salad, I think, which, I understand. So that's not heating. That's good. It's easy to overconsume. Nut oils are calorie dense, and even small amounts can add up quickly. Overconsumption may lead to weight gain, which can exacerbate insulin resistance if not balanced with overall calorie intake. Use nut oil sparingly, primarily as a dressing or a finishing oil, not for frying. And there is, of course, a potential risk of allergies. And so it really is the processing and refining issue and the shelf life, not knowing how old something is, but drizzling over already cooked vegetables and using in salad dressings might not be so bad. Okay, that's kind of that brief overview of nut oils. And that is such a good question because they do, if you've ever purchased a nut oil, like let's say at Trader Joe's, and you put it in your cupboard, it can go rancid really quickly. And you're like, what the heck? And you're like, I just bought this walnut oil. And you're like, yeah, that's why. They're just tender. They're tender oils. Okay, so high fructose corn syrup. Commonly found in sodas, processed foods, sweets. It's a concentrated form of fructose that wreaks havoc on your metabolic health. So I understand we can sit here all day and say, seed oils are bad for your health. And people go, well, okay, fine. But if I tell you that seed oils are making you fat, you're like, out with the seed oils. I'm done. And it's true. They are. They're literally compromising your ability to burn fat. Why? Because when everything is going through your liver and it's making your liver tired and toxic, it's your fat metabolizing organ. You're blocked. Fat loss blocked. And you're like, what the heck? What happened? Okay. So high fructose corn syrup, it's like this fructose is overloading your liver. Okay. So unlike glucose, fructose is metabolized almost entirely in your liver. High intake can overwhelm the liver, leading to production of fat, which contributes to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. A fatty liver directly reduces the liver's ability to regulate blood sugar effectively, worsening your insulin resistance. It's keeping you fat. It is also increasing your visceral fat. High fructose corn syrup promotes fat storage, particularly visceral fat, which is closely linked to insulin resistance and chronic diseases. It's also creating leptin resistance. Fructose does not stimulate insulin or leptin effectively, okay? Meaning it fails to signal when you're full, okay? This leads to overeating, weight gain, and further strain on insulin sensitivity. It also causes glycation and advanced glycation, AGEs, advanced glycation end products. Fructose is contributing to the formation of AGEs, which cause tissue damage and inflammation, worsening your insulin resistance. So consuming both seed oils and high fructose corn syrup together is a recipe for a metabolic disaster. They're making you fat. And if you want to go backwards, you're going to have to like eliminate. The high fructose corn syrup is a given, right? Like if you're insulin resistant, you shouldn't be eating any sugars. Like you should be sugar-free if you really want to make a dent. Because if you are keeping your insulin high because you're just going to have a little bit and you're just going to reward yourself a little bit, like ask me how I know, you're going to block your fat burning and be frustrated all day, every day, because you're going to keep your insulin high. And if you're going to keep your insulin high, chasing that sugar to get it into your cell, you are blocking fat burning. It's kind of period the end. That's just how frustrating it can be. Okay. But consuming both is a metabolic disaster. The inflammation from the seed oils combined with the liver stress and the fat storage effects of the high fructose corn syrup amplifies the risk of developing or worsening insulin resistance. So what do you do instead? Let's get to the good stuff. Happy Friday, Liz. Good to see you. Avocado oil instead of nut oil. Yes. Avocado oil has a really high heat point. And in my opinion, I probably, it's not just my opinion. It's a much better option to have avocado oil for sure. Replace your seed oils with healthy fats. Number one, olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, butter, lard, ghee. Those are stable. They are real. They are not, all you have to do is say this. Okay. Olive oil. You take olives, you press them, you get olive oil because there's a high fat content in olives. Vegetable oil, 0 vegetables made from grains and like beans or something, not even sure. No vegetables. They just call it vegetable to like screw you over. They use high chemicals to do it. Do you think that Italy is promoting? We have the most amazing vegetable oils from the region of Tuscany. You should have our vegetable oil. That's a joke, right? Like when you go to Italy, you're going to see all of the hills that are lined with olive groves. And then they're cold pressing and they're using dark glass bottles and they're preserving this amazing oil that came from an olive. Or we get it from an avocado, or we get it from coconut, or like the milk from a cow that turns into butter, Crisco, olive, soybean oil, canola oil, vegetable oil. These are all highly processed using massive amounts of chemicals. You cannot make your body function at a higher level by eating those, and it will keep you fat. Very frustrating. So avoid processed foods with high fructose corn syrup and opt for natural sweeteners like monk fruit, allulose, stevia. These are all the things that I teach in the group, you guys. Monk fruit, allulose, stevia. I'll literally tell you ingredient trade-outs. Day 2 of the 5-day reset in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And the next one starts on Monday. We go through ingredient trade-outs and I talk about those sweeteners. Did you know that allulose is actually being proven right now in studies to bring down your sugars? What? Why is that not all over the news? Focus on whole nutrient-dense foods that support insulin sensitivity like leafy greens, high-quality proteins and fats. That is not shocking coming from my content, right? Like when I talk about food, grain-free, sugar-free, legume-free, I'm still a foodie, you guys. I never thought I would switch out my foods being Italian. I really didn't. I thought for sure that would be the hardest thing that I ever did. And like I've said so many times, that was not the hardest thing that I ever did. This is the hardest thing that I did right here. This, and then my heart connection. Because come on, do you have emotional connections to food too? It's not just me, is it? I don't think it's just me. I can see that I'm missing comments somewhere on my stuff over there. Thank you. I'm so glad that you enjoy the information. I'm so glad. Does anybody have any questions before I move on? Yep. Avocado. Perfect. Yep. Coconut oil, olive oil. Perfect. Perfect. Carol. Good morning, Carol. How are you? How was your birthday? Did you have a nice birthday? I'd love to know. Okay. So you do not have to be perfect. And is there a goal in it? Yeah, sure. But I had to take my own journey when I was switching out my foods. But first I had to understand why this stuff was messing with me so that I actually didn't look at a French fry the same way anymore. Like if I'm lowering inflammation and I'm appreciating the fact that I have less inflammation in my body and I wake up and I don't ache and I just turned 60, I'm not interested in adding inflammation into my life. I'm like, no, I'm good. Because you can't convince me to feel like trash anymore. So if I'm at a social event and somebody's like, oh, come on, just a little bit, just take a bite, come on. And if you got a food pusher around you, I mean, I still deal with the social, you don't want to be weird around everybody. I'd rather that nobody paid any attention to what I eat, like at all. Because I'm like, you do not have to eat like me. You do not have to understand why I eat this way. I'm not just making this up out of the sky. I eat this way because I feel terrific at 60. I feel so good. I've lost 3 sizes. Come on. I'm the only one in my family to have avoided type 2. The only one. So you can't convince me otherwise. So when I look at a French fry, I'm like, I'm not even tempted anymore. I'm not saying that happened overnight or anything, but I'm convinced that if I can get you to understand why something is making you fat, keeping you from losing fat, you'll think twice. Okay? Did you say? You did have a great birthday. You're welcome. I'm so glad. Look at us, birthday sisters, like in the same week. That's so cool. And so it's really important for me to kind of get those things across to you guys, okay? Because if I can give you really strong information, then that's why you'll make differences. Now, when I started to lose my 3 sizes, I did 2 things and I teach 2 things. And you guys, a lot of you already kind of know, but I'm going to go back to that testimony where Megda lost so she was already using the trio. She was already on these 3 supplements. And at any point, anybody can reach out to me. See, now on Instagram, don't put it in the comments because I can't always reach back out to you. It doesn't stay once the live is gone. So I apologize. You have to reach out to me if you need information on the trio in my inbox. And then Facebook, you can put it in the comments or you can get into my messenger. And TikTok, you can message me. I just need to, I just can't send you a link, okay? So she started with the trio. This is true. This is since August 28th. No, hold on. I have so many testimonies this week, you guys. I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. I have to make sure I'm keeping them straight. That's another one. This one is, she did start with the trio, okay? But when she introduced because this is helping you with your insulin sensitivity. This is where I started. Just these fully supported me in losing 3 sizes in my 50s, okay? But when she introduced the orange pixie stick, and I haven't even had mine for today yet, so I'll show you a little bit. It's an orange pixie stick. It tastes like candy. I'll do a little bit right there, okay? That's what it looks like. It's literally like a pixie stick, like when you're a kid. Can you see that? It tastes orange, sweet, and it's a clinical dose of an extract that actually targets belly fat and hip fat. And the reason why I'm bringing that to you today is because I literally spent all last night and this morning answering you, many of you. Your answer to me as to what your biggest symptom is: belly fat, belly fat, belly fat, belly fat, belly fat, belly fat, belly fat. Okay. So that's why I want to make sure I get this to you. I know that in 90 days from now, February, March, April, we will be in May. Well, in 90 days, because she was taking this, it's a thermogenic. It's a kind of like layman's term, because I'm not a scientist, heating up the inside of your cell and burning fat. Okay. But it's targeted and it's kind of crazy. 3.5 inches off of her, right under her bra, 2.5 inches off of her waist, and 1 inch off of her hips. Okay. And it's a dynamite product. I'm just telling you. Magda, okay. Thank you, Magda. So Magda started in July of 2024 with the trio. Okay. And then she started this. Let's see, if you took January off, then you started this at the beginning of October. So October, November, December, 90 days. This is what she did once a day, just like this, on your tongue, just like this. I do it every morning. And then after 90 days, take a month off, let your body not get used to that thermogenic so you can do another round. Because we all want to do another round until we get to where we want to be. It's so good. It literally is. It's an orange pixie stick. It's what it is. I'm just telling you. So it's your treat for the day. And I want you to have that information, because these testimonies are the real deal. All of my testimonies that I have on my website is kirstenliebelt.com. All of my testimonies on there, they have come directly to me. Okay. And so this is not a corporate jazz hands. This is scientifically, if you can get your insulin down, and if you can, and how much weight have you lost, Magda, in total? If you want, you have to remind me, I'm not kidding you. Yesterday's testimony just blew my mind about, she's 74. She'll be 75 March 1st. And she is, she always watches me on the replay. So every time she watches the replay, she's like, oh my gosh, you're talking about me again. You guys, it's just like if you're not too old, it's not too late. Do you understand? It's changing the lens that you look at your weight loss through. She lost 45 pounds since August 28th. She's 74. Just think about how all of our lives we're not given the proper information. It's just staggering. And it's maddening. And I still have people show up all the time. I don't know. I don't know if I can pull this up fast enough, so I probably won't be able to, but somebody had left a message in my group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And this morning I saw it. She listed 6 or 7 doctors that she has been to, specialists. And she was really frustrated. Actually, here, maybe I can. And she ended up finding out that all of this mess in her life was because she was insulin resistant. And she's pissed. She's mad. I don't blame her. And so here we are. This is why I go live every day, because I know that, well, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. The reason why is because for this beautiful group of women that we all connect with here, and we are, we're such good cheerleaders of each other. There are hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people in the United States alone that have never heard any of this information. They have no idea. Deborah, good question. She wants to know how to get the product. So you can do one of two things. So you can either click on my profile right here on Instagram, and you'll see message. You can message me, or you'll see, you'll actually see my link on my profile. Okay. And if you don't know how to find that, I'm not sure on Instagram. Let me see here. Where do you click on my face? I'm not positive, to be really honest. But if you can find my profile, you can connect with me. I'll get you a cart with all 3 in it, and you can see it, or whatever you want. That's kind of the beauty of it. You can message me. Anybody can message me and say, listen, I want just the orange pixie stick. Will you put that in a cart for me and send that over? Absolutely. Or I want the trio and the orange pixie stick. Perfect. Like you can ask me to give you something that's customized according to what your needs are. So I hope that answers that for you. Okay. You don't weigh yourself. Okay. Good to know, Magda. You know, a girl after my own heart. Neither do I. I got rid of my scale like 7 years ago. Measure. It's so much more helpful for you and it won't drive you as crazy. Anyway, so she, went to all of these doctors, and it was a dermatologist. I don't know the story, but this is what she said. So everybody just listen to this, okay? And see if this resonates with you at all in terms of just a level of frustration, because I'm telling you, it takes somebody like me, just an Italian girl who figured it out, to, I don't know, I had to overcome a lot of my own doubts and my own imposter syndrome and all of that stuff. But I couldn't not do it anymore after I had so many local people getting results with what I'm talking about, because I got results. I spent a lot of time thinking maybe it's just me that's getting these results, that self-doubt, right? Because this isn't about a program that's marketing to you. I'm trying to teach you science so you can understand why it's working. Why did I lose 3 sizes in my 50s? Why did she lose 3.5, 4.5, 5, 6 inches in 90 days? Why? And I can teach you the science behind it so that you have clarity. Okay. That's really important to me. So this is what she's saying, and you can decide whether or not this is resonating with you. So she recently found out that she was insulin resistant. It boggles her mind that you can have a perfect A1C level. Listen up now. Okay. The one thing you don't know the most of is that you can be insulin resistant for years and or decades before it shows up in your blood sugar levels. Okay. Insulin resistant for years and decades before it finally shows up in your blood sugar. Please share this with somebody that needs to hear this today. Really seriously, share this information out. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. These are the types of things that people have got to understand, because since she didn't know that she could be insulin resistant and her sugars were fine, she was constantly being told, you're fine, your labs are good, you're fine, your labs are good, you're fine, your labs are good, you're fine. Stop the insanity. Why did nobody pull a fasting insulin test on her, which is a hormone? Why is this so hard? Why? I want to know why. I don't understand. How can we have an entire medical system that is so illiterate in metabolic dysfunction that we just keep on getting fatter, sicker, more medicated? I mean, it is just mind-boggling. Perfect A1C level, it was 5.8, which is pre-diabetes, so I'm told. Then I lost 52 pounds and I went down to 5.4 last time I checked. And perfect blood sugar levels, like 90 to 100 when she would check at home, yet still be insulin resistant. Why? Let me pause. Because you have high insulin for years and years and years and years and years, potentially, before it can't keep up with your blood sugars. And your blood sugars just keep on going up and it can't get it. It can't get it. It can't get it. Your insulin is a delivery truck and it's trying to go and get the glucose in your blood and get it into your cell. Your cells are storage units. And after a while, they shut off. They lock up. They change the lock on you. They're like, no more. I'm stuffed like a freaking sausage. And we're done. And so now your pancreas thinks, well, then I need to make more insulin. More insulin, more insulin, more insulin, more insulin. And you're like, inflammation all over the place. Insulin resistance, just like that lock is tight, baby. And it can't do it anymore. So now your sugars go, it can't keep up. So the sugars rise above what the insulin can do. Now, finally, your doctor says, you're pre-diabetic. Your labs were fine until yesterday. Like, this is really frustrating, you guys. This has severe consequences. However, when you're insulin resistant, you can't budge a pound because it blocks fat burning. When you have high insulin, it's messing with your liver. Messed up liver, can't burn fat, blocks fat burning. Sorry. That's why I talk about the trio. It addresses both. Plus, plus, plus. But it addresses both. High insulin and liver. Okay. So she says, I didn't want anybody to know. And she starts talking about some symptoms that she was having. And then she goes down to, let me see here. I've gone to over 20 different doctors. 20 neurologists. You guys, like, just, and I don't know the fullness of her story, right? So I don't, I'm not saying it's only insulin resistant. Like, I don't know, but I just need you to listen to this. 20 different doctors, neurologists, brain MRIs, brain vein MRVs, CT, CAT scans, EKGs, ridiculous amounts of blood work, sonogram, thyroid tests, heart tests, stress tests, ENTs, vestibular specialists, eye doctors, ophthalmologists, optometrists, gynecologists, trying to figure this out. And oddly enough, a dermatologist is the one that found my insulin resistance. I'm really over it. I'm drained, depressed, defeated, even making this post. And now my question is, and then she goes into wanting to know how to deal with insulin resistance. And then at the end, she says, and oh, by the way, I do have PCOS. And I know that PCOS and insulin resistance, they go hand in hand, apparently. Do you understand? If I can come to you and give you simple symptoms of insulin resistance, and I can tell you your insulin resistance right here, it's literally freaking causing everything. I'm super opinionated. I'm super passionate. And I know I'm not for everybody. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. Because I'm so done. I'm so done with that. Let me see here. What am I missing? I don't want to miss anything. Okay, I think I'm good. Oh, nope. Okay, I'm good. It's really sad that the medical field does not teach you how to fix the root cause. It's very frustrating. And there are days, Christina, you can talk to me. You can jump over to IG, and because I can voice text you over there. Okay. So jump over to IG and get in my inbox and say, hey, this is Christina from TikTok this morning. And I will get to your message. I promise. I'm a little tiny behind. I'm not going to lie. Between last night and this morning, your belly fat conversations, that's why I'm talking to you about the pixie stick that targets belly fat, because overwhelming response. Overwhelming. But if you'll go to where I can, even if you text me, I can't leave you a voice message on that particular phone number. So you have to go over to IG, get over to Portal Over. And how do you get over there? Go up to my face, up in the corner, press on my face, click it, and then my face will come up again right here. Click it again, and it will take you to my profile. I wish I had a device to show you. I don't. On my profile, I need more devices, you guys. I'm device deficient. I need more devices. If you go to my profile on TikTok, you'll see the Instagram logo, and it'll portal you. It'll be like, boo, you'll go over to IG. But you can talk to me. That's what I'm trying to say. As much as I can to you guys, I will voice text you. I will walk you through. I want you to get what you need to get. Don't get what you don't need to get. Get the freaking results. I want you to get the freaking results. I want you to lose 45 pounds since August 28th, and you're 74 years old. What is happening? Do you understand? You're securing yourself away from, I can never make any guarantees, away from dementia, which is insulin resistance of the brain. My mother didn't do that. She just kept carboholicking herself right into type 2 in her 80s and dementia. Like bam, bam, bam. And then there was no return. I mean, not that we understood to do. Okay, so you understand what I mean. And then she died at 94, 2 years ago. You're 75. There you go, Deborah. You heard L-lysine helps blood sugar levels. That could be, as an amino acid, that probably could be. I don't know specifically that amino acid. What I deal with is, or what I use are trace minerals and herbs to help your insulin come down, your sugars come down, your liver to function, and your visceral fat and metabolism to get targeted. This is where I started a little over 10 years ago. Fully supported me in losing 3 sizes in my 50s. I did this by myself without video, without help, right? I mean, I had help like Maria Emmerich books, but nothing like this. So now when I say I can help you compress time, I mean I can help you compress time, right? I mean, it's phenomenal. You know, when somebody can lose all of those inches, you know, started the trio in July, you know, ended up using the blood orange stick, lost 6 inches, like 74, losing 45 pounds since August 28th. Had somebody else text me this week. This is like one of my favorites. And she said, it was last week. And she said, she started in July also. And her A1C, don't know if I'm going to know the number well enough. I'm going to be close. Her A1C was like 6.8. Now it's 5.4, something like that. It was high 6s down to the lower 4s, lower 5s. And so her doctor said, I'm going to put not diabetic in your chart. And that just happened. It literally just happened. So I can help you compress time, because I was just kind of wading through the mud a little bit and trying to, like, I didn't know anything that was, I didn't have any understanding as to what I was doing. I was just walking journey, and then I would reverse engineer why that worked for me. So now I can front load you with why it's working for you. You can take action and you can compress your time, and you don't have to take as long as I did, right? Big conversation. It makes me really, really happy to be able to do that. Okay. Am I missing anything? Yep. Facebook group. Yay. Thank you, Kristen. You're amazing. So you can text her. She will help you and give you hope. Yep. Her group. Yeah. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you. So the group is called Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. I'm going to get myself another device. I got to do that, because then I could show it to you. I could just show it to you. Actually, I can show it to you on this computer, sort of. Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Here, I'm going to show it to you. This I can show. I just can't show you a TikTok profile. Okay. That's our 5-day reset starting on Monday. All right. So do you see where it says Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women? It might be backwards. I don't know, but at least you can see the name. Okay. Go search that on Facebook, and I'll get you in there. And then at 3:00, screenshot that if you want to screenshot it, because then you can see, like, how I'm saying I go live 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Okay. And we will go through what is insulin resistance. Like, let's get a better understanding of what is going on. Then let's talk about how you can trade out your ingredients and still be a foodie. Then I'll show you my pantry and my refrigerator so that you can have hope. I'm not joking. And then on Friday, we'll do a recipe. Oh, then we do targeted supplements, because listen, if you can speed up your process, are you interested? Are you interested in launching your body? Do you want the slow way or do you want the fast way? I'm just asking because I think most people want the fast way, especially when you're 75, right? Like, and then my client who was 74 and lost 45 pounds since August 28th. Now she, in all transparency, she was doing the trio, the gut reset, which is the primer and a probiotic, which I don't have right here. It's a white stick. So she was doing the primer, the probiotic, the trio, and she was doing the orange pixie stick. Okay. So that was her story, but still 74 years old, 45 pounds since August 28th might have been worth it. I'm just saying. And all of the products have a 6-month guarantee. Excuse me. It's winter in Minnesota. The fast way, Deborah says. I'm with you. And I get it. You know, I never invested in supplementation. I never did anything like that. Like that was not, I was taking ibuprofen. So I totally know if you are not a supplementing person and you don't know that world at all, that's why I can help you. So hold on. I want to see what I'm missing. Intermittent fasting, 7,000 steps. A1C from 6.0 to 5.0. Yes. Good job. Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. You're 77 and she's on keto. I love that so much. Oh, you guys, there's so much hope. We have got to stop listening to the matrix and the answers that they give us. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Okay. So thank you so much for joining today. We're going to do Monday, 11 a.m. right here, Central Standard Time. 3 p.m. Central Standard Time in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. I will go live at 3 p.m. and we will talk about, I can see you guys TikTok, and we will talk about insulin resistance and basically getting some understanding. And then we'll go through the week, okay? If you need February to be different, if you need your next 90 days to be different, I can help you do that. And listen, I tell people all the time, ask me questions. Come on here and ask me questions. Go into my DMs and ask me questions, because what I do know 100% true is that a confused mind does nothing. And so if you stay confused and you're like, oh, it kind of makes sense, but it kind of doesn't. And I kind of wonder about this. And I wonder if it would work for me. And I wonder if she has a testimony that looks like mine, blah, 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 blah. Reach out. Today's the last day of January. It's the last day. It's the perfect day to set up your February. And if you ask me questions, then I can help you move forward today. And then you don't sit and wait until it's April and then you're frustrated that you didn't take action today, right? Because, you know, have you ever seen those memes? 1 year from now, you'll be sorry that you didn't start today. Well, probably 90 days from now, when spring is here and the flowers are blooming and the sun is shining and we're doing graduations and weddings and vacations and all of the things, and we're taking the pictures and we're hiding behind people and all that stuff, that's when we regret that we just didn't start right now, you know? And like I said, it's not a fancy schmancy jazz hands answer for you. I don't have a really cute little marketing package, nothing like that. This is all science. It's just something that I reverse engineered. And now the testimonies are plentiful, 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 plentiful. Okay. So I would love to help you move forward right now today. I'm actually going to jump off. I have so many messages, you guys. I'm going to start responding to messages. And if you message me, you're not overwhelming me. I will just put you on my list and I will get to you. I promise. The time is Central. Thank you for asking, Deborah. I'm in Central Standard Time. I'm in Minnesota. So 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I come here Monday through Friday. 3 p.m. Central Standard Time is the 5-day insulin resistant reset every day for 5 days, starting next week. And that's in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Okay. And that's the one that is this right here. So you can go find that. Okay. Can everybody see that? I think you can. Screenshot it, zoom it in, right? And I hope to see you there. And again, reach out and let's get you started going. Let's go. Let's make your, like the last few days of winter here, your best days so that you feel like you've got hope. I bet Magda has hope. I bet she does going into spring and summer. So, all right, here we go. Have a good day, you guys. Be super blessed. And I will chat with you very, very soon.